Hello, my name's Lauren, and if you've not seen my videos before, I like to talk about all things bookish, so reading wrap-ups, book reviews, book hauls, all of that good stuff. And today we have got a bit of a juicy book haul, the best kind of video in my opinion, because who doesn't love new books? So over the last couple of months I have been collecting this little pile of books here. I'll be honest, there's only 2 books here that were on my list to purchase that I knew were coming out. The rest were surprises. But I do try not to buy too many physical books just because of space issues. I do read predominantly on my Kindle. However, I do have shelves now, so every now and again I do have to treat myself to a few physical copies. And as I said, this is over the last couple of months. This wasn't just like a bulk buy. So let's get into the book haul and have a look at what I picked up. So first off, we're going to start with an absolute bargain, and it is this book, The Fox and the Star. So this is a cloth-bound children's book, and I picked this up on Vinted and I paid £2.80 for this. I'll be honest, I had no idea about this book. I was just browsing Vinted one evening and this came up, and I absolutely adore foxes. Like, they're one of my favourite animals, so I was immediately drawn in by the title and cover. And then when I started looking into it, because there was literally like this picture on Vinted, so I started looking into it and I realised what a beautifully illustrated book this is. So there's not much in the way of a story, it's just bits of text, but the illustrations in this book are the main reason that I bought it. So there are stunning pages like these ones, and these ones, and this. So yeah, it just looks a really cute story, and as I said, I absolutely adore foxes, and for £2.80 I could not pass this up. However, when I ordered it, I didn't realise quite how big the book was. So it doesn't actually fit on my shelves all that well. I do have to have it like on a bit of an angle rather than like flat on like that, but it's still stunning, and for £2.80 I have no complaints. Next up was another surprise buy. Like, this was not on my radar at all, and then I was browsing Instagram and this popped up on The Works, and it has a stunning sprayed edge, so naturally that went straight in the basket on release day. So The Works actually do quite a lot of sprayed edges, and they're all paperbacks, which is something that I really like. It's not often that you get a paperback sprayed edge, so it's really nice to see that The Works are doing a lot of them. So if I bring it a bit closer, there you can see it matches the cover, and then the cover has pink foiling on it as well. So I have no idea if I'll enjoy this book. It does sound quite cute, to be fair, but there was no way that I was passing up on that. It was £6, which tends to be the price point for most of The Works sprayed edge books. So yeah, I thought that was really cute. Love the pastel colours, love the foiling. Can't wait to see if I enjoy the book. The next one was a planned purchase, and now that I have it, I am so glad that I did buy it. It was a bit of a pain to get, I'm not gonna lie, and it is A Harvest of Hearts, but this is the American Barnes & Noble version. This is not what we get in the UK. So in the UK it is only out in hardback at the moment, and the cover looks like this. There are no sprayed edges, this is just what the book looks like. Whereas Barnes & Noble got this paperback version, and it's got like the glossy effect on it and the sprayed edges. Now, I got this from Blackwell's. A little tip if you're in the UK, Blackwell's seem to get a few like American exclusives like this, so it's always worth checking on there if there is an American book that you've got your eye on, because it could well be on Blackwell's. However, on the flip side of that, I actually pre-ordered this. I think this is the first book that I have ever pre-ordered, because from the moment I set my eyes on this version of it, I knew I had to have it. I mean, the hardback copy is beautiful, but I'm not a massive fan of hardback books either, and as I said, I wanted the sprayed edge. I pre-ordered this. Now, most places that you pre-order books from, you either get it just before publication day or on publication day. I got this a week later and that was after a cancelled order and having to reorder it and having to email and do online chats with them. So yeah, it wasn't the best experience ordering from Blackwell's, but I will give them the benefit of the doubt and I probably would order from there again if another like exclusive edition came up. They're just not my first choice because it wasn't the greatest experience, but it is a beautiful book. It's got the sprayed edges like the whole way around and the story sounds amazing. I think it's like a cozy fantasy novel, and yeah, I'm not gonna lie, the fact that it's got a little cat on the bottom also drew me in. But I'm super excited for this one and I'm really happy to have the American version of it. So the last two books in this little book haul come as a bit of a package deal because I did buy them in a bundle and I got them from TikTok Shop and it was cheap to buy them as a bundle. Now, one was a planned purchase, the other one was a complete surprise. So I'll start with the planned purchase, which was the Strawberry Patch Pancake House by Laurie Gilmore. I adore the Dream Harbour series. Aside from the Christmas Tree Farm, that one was a bit of a fail for me, but we'll skip over that. The first two Dream Harbour books were perfection. I do have vlogs for those. I've got a review for the Pumpkin Spice Cafe and a reading vlog for the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, so I will link those below. So yeah, this one was a completely planned purchase. Now, if you are a fan of this series and you are in the UK, or maybe not even if you're in the UK because this book has gone crazy, there is a sprayed edge version of this book from The Works. It looks like this. Now when The Works announced this, I was kind of excited and kind of disappointed because none of the other paperback copies of the Dream Harbour series have sprayed edges in the UK. Now, that's not to say that The Works is not going to capitalise on the popularity of this and now release them all in sprayed edges. Like, I can full well see that happening. However, this version does not match my other paperbacks. But on the same day that that was released, HarperCollins on TikTok announced their exclusive hardback version of the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore. Now, I already have that exclusive edition of the Pumpkin Spice Cafe and I was really hoping that they were going to do the entire series like this. So when this was announced, it was a no-brainer because just look how stunning they look together. And it sort of cemented the idea for me that I did not want the sprayed edge version of this from The Works because I am collecting these hardback ones and it does now appear that HarperCollins are going to release the entire Dream Harbour series like this. So I would prefer to have these as the collectible editions, even though they're way more expensive than The Works one. But yeah, I'd already started this collection with this one, so it just made sense to carry on and then order just the standard copy of this. As I say, I got both of these in a bundle on TikTok Shop from HarperCollins, so I'm not too mad about the fact that I don't have the sprayed edge version of this from The Works now. It has absolutely blown up, that copy. I know people are going absolutely crazy for it and there are people outside of the UK desperately trying to get their hands on it. But for me, I do prefer these versions. So of course, when this was announced, this was a very expensive unplanned purchase, but I just had to get it because I know how popular this one was and this one sold out multiple times. I had to get this when they re-released it and people were reselling this on Vinted and eBay for a crazy price. So I snapped this one up as soon as it came out because there's something about the Dream Harbour series that I just absolutely adore. Like, I know it's not the best series out there, I know they're not the most well-written books, but there is just something so cosy and comforting about them. And even though I wasn't a massive fan of the Christmas Tree Farm, which is the third book in the series, you bet that I will be buying this edition of it when it comes out because I just have to have the entire collection. You can't not. So that was my little book haul. quite a few unplanned purchases there. I don't think there's anything else on my radar for buying at the moment, but considering that most of these books in this haul were unplanned purchases, who knows, there might be another book haul sometime soon. I think I'm gonna have to buy some new shelves soon. Like, my shelves are over here, they're in a corner, so that's why I don't film in front of them, because it's a little bit dark over there. I do need to figure out something for filming so I can potentially do it in front of my shelves, but they are filling up fast. So I think this bit over here, I think there will be more shelves there eventually, because it's getting full, and like the way I've got some of my books displayed, there's just not that much room for many more. So do let me know if you have picked up any of these books, or you have read any of these books that were in this haul. Let me know what books you've been buying recently, and I will see you guys next time.